Hello, you see the title, so let's just get into it. This is me in the airplane. This is the view outside the airplane. This is this man trying to de-ice the airplane so that we can go and fly away to sunny San Diego. Here's us on the runway. I hope that you don't get airsick. I don't know, I don't have a problem with that, but some people might find these parts kind of nausea-inducing. If that's you, I'm sorry. So quick disclosure, this is really like a glorified PowerPoint presentation of my vacation pictures. I hardly vlogged at all because I was too scared. Enjoy! 2, 3, 4.
Out in the meadow there stands a tree. It seems to climb to eternity. The word has had it since the days of old. At the top of that tree there's a pot of gold. My pa had told me time on time, if I worked real hard I could make it mine. Bought a pile of books, 12 foot high, put on a suit and give it a try. Oh, keep on climbing high, Lord, keep on climbing high. Keep on climbing a little higher and higher. Keep on climbing high, Lord, keep on climbing high. When you reach the top, you can retire. The very first branch looked cozy and nice, and a bed of leaves lay my sexy wife. She said, "Hi, remember me?" But I kept climbing up the tree. Said, "I'll throw you a kiss, can't stop. Throw you a rope when I reach the top." Took off like a monkey in a jungle race. Got a divorce slapped him to my face. Oh, keep on climbing high, boy. Keep on climbing high. Keep on climbing a little higher and higher. Keep on climbing high, boy. Keep on climbing high. When you reach the top, you can retire. Halfway up, hanging from the tree, was a sweet little girl screaming, "Please help me!" I danced on her fingers and she lost hold. There ain't no way I'm gonna share that gold. Oh, keep on climbing high, Lord, keep on climbing high. Keep on climbing a little higher and higher. Keep on climbing high, Lord, keep on climbing high. When you reach the top, you can retire. Sitting on the top, to my surprise, was a withered little man with a tear in his eye. Long, hard climb, wrecked my health. I slipped on a branch, down I fell disappointed.
And so there we were, 11 hours, 2 plane rides, and nearly 3,000 kilometers covered later, we had escaped the clutches of old man winter and found our way to the balmy paradise that is San Diego in January. As soon as we got checked into our Airbnb, we went out in search of food. We hadn't hardly eaten all day and we were starving. We went down to the beach thinking that that would be our best bet. We did choose an Airbnb that was just 1 block off the beach. And so we went down looking for food. Obviously didn't go to the right place because we didn't find anything to eat, but we did wander around a little bit and we found a place called Athena's, which had a beautiful outdoor patio area with like fire pits and couches, and it was just like a really, really cool place. So we picked that. The food was a little weird, but it was good. And overall, no complaints. After eating, we went back to our Airbnb where we discovered that houses in San Diego don't have heating, and it was actually kind of a cold spell for San Diego, so we found that our Airbnb was a little cold. And so here's my travel tip number 1 for you. If you are staying in an Airbnb and you're not American, you're gonna want to pack like some coffee and or tea for yourself, because I find that like Californians maybe specifically, or like people in the southern United States, warm beverages is not a thing for them. So if you're a person who likes to have a cup of tea before bed or a cup of hot coffee in the morning, and you're staying in an Airbnb, pack those things with you, because there's a really high chance if you're staying in the South that they're just not gonna have those things. We also pack our own coffee maker. We use an AeroPress. Look it up. They're amazing and such a good coffee maker for travel. We did not have any tea and we really wanted a warm beverage because the house was quite cold. But I found some oranges, sliced them up, boiled them, and made hot orangey water. I don't know. It was pretty good. I just needed something hot to drink. Now here are some pictures of our Airbnb. Now this particular place was listed as only having the room available. There was another person staying there. However, I guess we are living there. But he actually ended up having a funeral to go to last minute, so we actually had the whole run of the house and didn't have to worry about bumping into the person who was living there at all. We stayed in this Airbnb for 2 nights, and it cost us about $68 Canadian plus fees, so I believe it was listed at like 50 American or like 54 American, I want to say. So that was our first night. We just found something to eat and then made ourselves some hot orangey water and went to bed. The next morning, my only mission was to go to Belmont Park and ride this vintage wooden roller coaster that I had like a wooden track, and I just was really enchanted with the early 1900s era roller coaster, and I really wanted to ride it. So first thing we wanted to do was go get something to eat. We walked back down to the beach. Like I said, we were only 1 block off of Mission Beach, and it was a really, really great area to stay in. So if you're going to San Diego and you're thinking beach vibes, highly recommend the Mission Bay area. It was great. So we walked down to the beach, we found a place to eat, but before we got our food, I spotted a dachshund. So if you're not aware, I'm crazy about wiener dogs. There is a wiener dog in my lap right now. I am a dachshund fanatic, and I thought that when I got my own wiener dog, my obsession with this breed would die out. It doesn't. When I'm out of the house, or if I'm away on trips and I see a wiener dog, I need to meet him, I need to pet him, I need to know everything about him. I am nuts about these dogs. So I actually have not seen a lot of standard wiener dogs. I had one of them when I was growing up. His name was Harvey, and I just always love when I get to see the full-sized standard version of the dachshund breed. So we were walking to breakfast, and then my husband Jared was like, look at that wiener dog, and I was like, oh my God. So I ran over. You can see in the pictures that I'm dropping my scarf. We had a whole photo shoot, and then I was like, okay, I'm sorry, enjoy your breakfast. We went to this cool, very popular breakfast spot, both got French toast, and then we went and ate kind of out on the beach, so we had a little beachside view. And then after that, we went exploring, really enjoyed the Mission Bay area. We thought that it was lots of cool houses and things to look at. I was absolutely obsessed with these succulents that everybody had, and their backyards were so cute. I always really like to just walk around when I'm in a new city or when I'm in a new country. I love looking at architecture. I just like to wander. So we walked around for the better part of the morning, and then we decided that we should go to Belmont Park and ride my roller coaster. So we decided that this was going to be the perfect opportunity to take out those bird scooters that we had been seeing before, because if you go to San Diego, those bird scooters are everywhere, honey. And I know a lot of people don't love them, but I'm gonna say that I did. Thought it was amazing as a tourist, best thing ever. You don't have to take Ubers everywhere. And if you get lost, you're not walking around, you're scootering around. And then Jared was not feeling the roller coaster vibe the way that I was. So he took these great photos of me on the roller coaster. I set my camera in my lap so that I could record it, but then I was afraid that my camera would fly out the roller coaster, so there is not really any usable footage from this, but here's what I got. Great job, Lacey. Way to film yourself screaming in the inside of the roller coaster car. What a great YouTuber. After the roller coaster, we wandered around a little. I took some pictures of this carousel because I thought it was cool. And then it was time for us to look for some food. So we grabbed our scooters and continued exploring the Mission Bay area. We made our way to the interior of the bay, which was much less crowded compared to the exterior. We then found this incredible pizza place where they made us an amazing pizza. And then it was time for us to ride our scooter back to the Airbnb so we could put our leftover pizza in the fridge. We decided to ride double, which is definitely against the rules, so that I could hang my camera from my neck and attempt to film some beachside sunset scooter videos. So enjoy whatever this is. Should I get off? I don't know if it's easier to have me get off or we should just close the door. The little Frenchie. Oh my gosh, so precious. Yeah. Yeah. Like a different, fun, nighttime festive crowd, I feel. The next day, our plan was to go to the La Jolla Tide pools, but when we woke up in the morning, it was pouring rain and there was nothing but rain in the forecast. So we went for breakfast at a nearby local coffee shop called Coffee Cat and had some delicious lattes and even more delicious food while we figured out what the plan was for the day. Ultimately, we decided that even though it was pouring rain, it really wasn't all that cold. It was like 20 degrees Celsius the entire time we were there. So we decided that a little water was not going to stop us from enjoying our day. So we put on our rain jackets and we took an Uber up to the La Jolla Tide pools. I think it was like a 15-20 minute Uber ride from the Mission Bay area. Another bonus to the rain was it was really not that crowded at the tide pools. There was hardly anybody out there, so we more or less had the entire place to ourselves, which is always a treat. Now, what are the La Jolla Tide pools? There's like grooves and divots and holes worn into the rock all along the shore. And so when the tide comes up, all of these little fish and little ocean creatures get washed up, and then when the tide comes back out, they get stranded in these holes, and they just kind of hang out in those holes for the day until the tide comes back in and they're able to get their way back out to sea. So we just kind of went looking for little creatures, and we found a couple crabs and we found some fish. And it was a really, really fun experience. By far my favorite experience of the entire trip. So I'm very glad that we did it. I was also thankful that my iPhone 7 is waterproof because I took my favorite pictures from the entire San Diego trip while we were at the tide pools with my iPhone 7 because it was raining too hard to take my regular camera out. So here are some of my favorite shots from that day. There's way too many of them. Please bear with me. I'm kind of proud of some of these pictures. And so enjoy. And here is an acoustic cover of a Janet Devlin song for you to listen to while you look at them. The song is called Lifeboat. Enjoy.
All the little pieces of my heart flicker as they fall to the ground. Perfectly askew, just how I like. But you don't need to carry a searchlight. I can see them fine on my own. Perfectly and then just how I like. Save your scissors, for they are rusty now. I don't need a lighthouse to try and show me how. I don't need a lifeboat. I'm learning how to swim. It may look like I'm drowning, but I'm learning how to live. I don't need your rescue, for I am okay now. I can see the shoreline, so turn your lifeboat round. Even though my thoughts can be cloudy, the silver lines are always inside. Perfectly unclear, just how I like. And I can guarantee me a sunrise, even in the darkest of nights. Perfectly on time, just how I like. Save your scissors, for they are rusty now. I don't need a lighthouse to try and show me how. I don't need a lifeboat.
spent a couple of hours in the tide pools. We kind of made our way along the shore till we got to this place where there were all of these sea lions, and I took a little picture of the explanation of what's going on. But basically they come up on shore to give birth. It was pupping season while we were there, so we stood and watched them for quite some time.
For I am okay now. I can see the shoreline, so turn your lifeboat round. Da 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 da. Don't need a lighthouse. Try and show me how. I don't need a lifeboat. I'm learning how to swim. It may look like I'm drowning, but I'm learning how to live. I don't need your rescue, for I am okay now. I can see the shoreline, so turn your lifeboat around.
It was finally time for us to head back to the Airbnb to check out, so we did that, and then we took an Uber to downtown San Diego where we could meet up with our friends who were splitting a larger downtown Airbnb with us. We went and ate at a Thai place in the gas lamp area. I believe it was called Lotus, and it was delicious. It was just such a beautiful rainy night. So that was our second full day in San Diego, and it was by far the best day that we had the whole trip.
Little machines, captains and cavalries, forming empires in the shade of the tree.
We spent the third day exploring the gas lamp area with our friends. The gas lamp district is definitely the spot for nightlife, food, restaurants, kind of the more poppin' end of the city that we spent some time in. So if you're looking for kind of downtown exciting city life, then you'll want to check out the gas lamp area. After walking around a bit, we all rented out those scooters and just scootered around for the evening. This was by far my highlight of the entire day. So here is an acoustic cover of a Lights song called Runnin' with the Boys, and it is a reference to Eddie Burback and his video about riding scooters with the boys. If you want to watch something way more entertaining and well done than this vlog, I highly suggest you check it out. But for now, enjoy this bumpy footage of us scootering around.
Your hand in mine, singing every song, loving every line, till the night is gone. Just like the old times, just like the old times.
This is the fifth time so much for watching this attempt at a travel vlog. I struggled with the editing of this one. I absolutely love to travel. And it's definitely my dream to be able to produce really awesome travel-related content. I'm not there yet, but this was my first attempt. I did learn a lot in the process of making this video, but I'm also really curious to hear some suggestions. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for being you, and thank you for being a part of my life. Bye, internet friends. Have a great day.